Oh, aloha. Long time no chat. So I thought on this Valentine's Day I would go ahead and describe to you the best worst date ever that I had yesterday. Yeah, it was great. It was actually amazing. I went for a walk yesterday and the guy was driving by. We locked eyes, we laughed, we like smiled at each other. I was walking this way, he was driving this way. We ended up meeting at this street corner and he said, "Are you spoken for?" And I was like, "Whoa, that's very eloquent for the morning." And he's like, "Are you spoken for?" And I said, "No, not today." And he said, "What are you doing for the Super Bowl?" And I was like, "I was going to go see my girlfriends." And he was like, "Oh, well, can I get your number?" Sure. Gave him my number. He proceeds to text me and say, "Let's go on an adventure today. Don't bring anything. We'll buy whatever we need. Let's just go wild. Rules are no kissing, you drive, and pay for everything. JK." And I'm like, good save. Fine, pick me up in 30 minutes. Picks me up across the street in 30 minutes. And he does get out of the car, and I do end up driving. I then find out he has just finished a bender with his boys from the night before. He probably got 2 hours of sleep. He's had 1 beer, so hair of the dog, fine. We still don't know which way this is going to go. So I get to the stoplight. I was like, "Well, where do you want to go?" And he goes, "Wherever you want." So there's no plan. Again, 50-50. This could be good or bad. So I start driving. He goes, "Okay, like get off on, this exit." Fine. So got off on the exit and I was like, "I'm hungry." So we stopped at a market. That was a dog, not a human. Don't worry. And so we went into the market. I got a sandwich. He went and got drinks, some fluids. Again, this could be good. Get fluids. He comes back with a 6 of Bud Light. Like I've told him I'm doing 75 hard, which is fine. Like who knows what he's 39. He's in charge of himself. So we end up going to the beach, parking, putting the back down on the Land Rover and like just chatting. Fine, great. I mentioned we had some mutual friends, like we knew we were gonna have, it's a small town here. He goes ice cold and then starts talking about girls that he has smashed. I haven't heard that phrase in a long time, especially when someone's talking to me. I don't know if that was meant to like turn me on or what. But it didn't. Nope. And then he was cracking Bud Lights. Fine. I ate half my sandwich, had put half away. Went to open the box again to eat the other half. And when he went to the bathroom, and it turns out he had been smashing his Bud Light cans and putting them in with my sandwich. No more sandwich. That was over. So he comes back to the car and we proceed to go to, I'm like, let's get out of here. The Super Bowl is starting. The one thing I want to do is watch the halftime show. We went to one dive bar. He had a beer. He bought another guy's beer that we just met. That's nice. We went to another bar. He had a Jack and Coke, which was very strong. And then we proceeded to come down. I was like, "I'm hungry. Let's go back." He's like, "Let's watch sunset." And I'm like, "I'm hungry. Let's head back towards La Jolla." Great. So we headed back towards La Jolla. On the way there, I said, "You're running out of gas. We should get gas." We stopped at the gas station. He took an incredibly long time because it turns out he went and paid for some other people's gas behind us. Again, that's nice. That's cute. And then we got in the car and we started to head towards La Jolla Village. And he called one of his friends, FaceTimed them, and they started talking about how he had picked me up that morning and we were on this adventure for the day. It wasn't much of an adventure because there wasn't much of a plan, and he kept kind of pointing out girls he thought were hot, and that's kind of uncomfortable. He told his friend on the phone that we were going to go to dinner so that he could find me a husband. Thanks so much. Thanks. The guy goes, "Well, what's her name?" Blank. Homeboy didn't remember my name. I was like, okay. And I was like, "Well, normally I eat at home. Like, I don't know where to eat. Around here, do you want to go high road or low road?" He's like, "I don't want to pay $99 for pasta." And I'm like, "You are handing out money all over town, paying for people's gas, giving money to homeless people. I'm not making any suggestions about where to get dinner. I'm going to give you, this is your opportunity to take the ball and run with it." Did not run with the ball. So I ended up driving down to Windansea to go look at waves and catch like the afterglow twilight. On the way there, I'm like, so where do you normally take girls? Like really just breadcrumbs. You're drunk, having a great day. You are having a great day and I'm driving you around. I get it. He's like, I've never asked a girl out. I'm like, excuse me? He's like, no, I've never asked a girl out. I've never taken a girl to dinner. And I was like, okay. Wow, so you've kind of been emasculated by women. Like, I'm sorry. That's tough. Then he starts mansplaining Windansea surf break to me. Never a good idea, ever. Oh, this is how it breaks. This is when it's good. This is when it's really heavy. This is da-da-da. Oh, yeah. I know what he thinks. That's good talks. So I start to go back into town and I was like, you know what? Since I normally eat at home, like, I'm just going to do that. He gets really quiet and says, well, wait, why don't you take me to my house and then can you just get an Uber from my house? I'm like, no, why don't you just drop me off where you picked me up? He's like, yeah, wait, where did I pick you up? I'm like, well, I'll go back there. And then he's like, and is that safe? Like you can walk home from there? I'm like, yeah, I can walk home from there. And then on the drive, I was like, hey, I just want to say, like, I'm sorry if I somehow, like, if I offended you. I didn't even say somehow. I'm like, I'm sorry if I offended you by saying like you were emasculated. Like, he goes, no. Today it was just a fail. Today was a fail. I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. It was a fail. It was a night of regret. He dropped me off at home. I was exhausted. I basically had no idea I was signing up to take this guy. Oh, and I did not see the halftime show. I have no idea. I got home and like went to bed. I woke up to a missed FaceTime call and a diatribe of like how I texted him like, hey, did you get home safely? I don't know. I'm still thinking like he's wasted and driving around town. Like, and he goes, yup, showered, shaved, headed out on the town to go adventure. I'm like, okay. And then he's like, the stream of texts after of it unraveling was amazing. And then he was sorry I didn't pay attention or sorry you talked too much. And I was just like, this was the best, worst date ever. No worries. Mucho aloha. So happy Valentine's Day.